walking to my job. I have the privilege of working with people that have been through a lot of trauma, and very often they're very dysregulated. And so I had an opportunity this week where I had to write a difficult email to different members of the team that were working together, and I had some tools to use when I could feel my heart was racing, and not to get mad at my body, because usually I will chastise my body. Why are you doing that? But just to kind of notice and go, oh, that's interesting. And support my body. And that I don't have to rely on others to make me feel safe. I have hope. I love that. And that I can learn to feel more connected and kinder with my body. Just so many things. One of the biggest shifts that I've noticed is my digestive system has really relaxed in this week. I noticed that. So that's wonderful.
I am just so excited to share with you how my life has changed. There have been so many shifts for me. One I want to touch upon is that I felt such relief learning that when I was angry or upset or overwhelmed, it was just a part of me, just one part of me. It wasn't all of me. And thus it was manageable. It wasn't overwhelming. I was going to be okay. I can handle this. Another thing is when I would be indecisive, I would struggle with making decisions sometimes. No, I want to do this. No, I want to do that. And I'm like, what am I, crazy? I can't make up my mind on things. Something so simple, sometimes just which thing to pick off the grocery shelf, But then I learned, wait a minute, I got parts. This is understandable. So that's a part of me that sometimes wants to go this way, and the other part of me sometimes wants to go that way. And it's like, man, I'm not crazy. I am okay. And getting the tools to learn how to work with these parts just created unity for me, and it was incredible. I am so grateful and thankful to Dr. Amy and for this course, because it has changed my life, and you really got to take this course. It's going to be a game changer.
Welcome. We are actually going to do some of that parts work that she was referring to. And that is Susan Lynn. She used to be a nurse, which means that she was used to taking care of everyone else but herself. Sound familiar to anybody else here? Yeah, I didn't think so. We are going to connect with our heart, and in a certain way today. So there's connecting with our body, but then there's connecting with the different parts of us in our body. And I want to show you how to do that today, because it allows us to see inner wounds, inner hurts, patterns that we otherwise would not see about ourselves. And so starting today, let's do what we've always done, which is let's just assess our inner anxiety level at the moment. And as you go to type your number into the chat, we use a scale of 0 to 10. If you're here for the first time today, welcome. Today is a great day to be here. And quick reflection for you, is it different than what it normally has been? Have you seen a shift overall as you've been doing these exercises every day? And so we can look at a shift that happens when we do an exercise, and we can sometimes see a shift that happens just more globally. Cynthia's saying a big shift. Wanda's saying different now, and some are saying no shift yet. So for those who are saying no shift, let's just use that word yet, no shift yet, allowing for the possibility that it still could happen. And when it takes longer, again, that's a message from our body of just how much hurt and pain, and here's the big word, mistrust that our body has, that it's holding. It does not trust us yet to open up. It does not trust us yet to even feel some of these things that we see other people feeling. It doesn't mean anything other than there's just a lot of repair that we need to do with our body. And the exercise today, the way I'm going to lead this, is allowing you to learn how to repair some of that trust. How to repair some of that trust. So are we ready for today's exercise? Let's tiptoe into it, because as we go to our heart, it can be a lot. And then I'll answer some questions that are coming in the chat. Remember, I am able to stay later today, and so I will be staying to answer some questions. Now, your heart. How would you make contact with your heart? Let's not go straight for the heart. Let's come in the edges. Come in sideways, because what if our heart doesn't feel safe to talk to us? And so it's like that friend that we've maybe hurt in the past. And we just kind of come in sideways, like, can I just kind of come sit next to you? We're not coming in for a direct hug yet. They're not ready for that. They're not ready for that. And so we're coming into the edges. And just as I come into the edges, I notice my body already starting to be like, like there's a softening. I'm going to use that word, softening. It's always hard for me to find words for feelings. Still is hard for me to find words for feelings sometimes. And so I'm going to use that word, softening. There seems just to be this softening just as I make contact with my body. And so I have my hand over my chest bone, that bone right in the middle of your chest. It's your sternum, or commonly called chest bone. And so just that is allowing me to say, hey, heart, I'm going to come in. Hey, heart, get ready for me. Knocking on the door. I'm not bursting through the door. I'm knocking on the door. And how might that feel like to allow ourselves to slow down? Can I knock at the door, not just burst through the door? Can I slow things down when in every other area of my life, I feel like I have to rush? And can I now come in slowly? So slowly, I invite you to move your hand now over to where you would feel like this is where I would directly connect with my heart. Now, what I like to do is I like to do all kinds of heart contact. So not only am I going to do above, but I'm going to put a hand over here on my side. See if I can turn, because my heart is up against my rib cage here on my side. So I can even make contact with my heart here, not just here, but here. And what does that feel like to have both on top and on the side? So you can put one hand on top, one hand on the side. And now we're just going to give that a few seconds to see, how does my body like that? Does that like it better than just on top? I noticed that Cynthia's been yawning from the very beginning. Her body's loving all of this. And now move it around, right? Like I noticed a few of you already starting to just move it around and then ask, like, does this feel better or does this feel better? We can even use our fingers. Do my fingers feel better or does my palm feel better? And now what if I try to come in underneath my heart and hold it up? Sometimes My heart has felt like it's dropping. My heart has felt like it's so heavy. It's carrying so much sadness that it's falling down. And so, what if I can come in underneath somehow and hold it up and be like, I gotcha. I know that right now it's a really tough time for you. So, what if I hold you so you don't have to hold yourself? And how can I create that feeling of coming in underneath my heart? Just give it a lift. Experiment with it, right? Like you can bring your hand in underneath your ribs, in front of your belly, underneath your ribs, and kind of tuck it up. You can put your hand over your ribs, but under your heart, and then just kind of have a lifting effect. And all you're doing is just trying this out. It may not feel good for you, but how do you know unless you try? So as we come in underneath and try to do that, you might want to still have one hand over and one hand underneath and just ask, does this feel better? All we're going for is better, which means that if neither feels better, they feel the same. Awesome. That's great. We don't need to analyze here. In fact, what we're trying to do is stay out of analyzing everything and just be what seems to feel better for my body. Raina, I love Raina's comment in the chat. You probably missed it because you're focusing on your heart. So I will read it to you. Raina's comment in the Zoom chat was, it might sound weird. No, it doesn't, Raina. So let's just get that out of our vocabulary. None of this is weird. I feel like my heart went from sad to smiling. I love that. Isn't that neat? And nothing from our body is weird. Nothing that our body does is weird. There's always a reason for it. We may not understand the reason, but it doesn't make it weird. Yeah, Beth says it's harder with clothes on. Absolutely. We are not all going to undress. That's not that kind of group. But what if you slipped a hand underneath your shirt and you had skin to skin? My body prefers skin to skin. Absolutely. So let's give that a try. Oh, and see, I get my deep breath. That's how I know it prefers skin to skin. I feel like there's a deeper connection, and that's what I want to create. I want to create a feeling of connection with my heart. So if I don't feel that yet, I'm going to keep experimenting until I've created the feeling. I create the feeling. I don't wait for someone else to create the feeling for me. I don't outsource my happiness anymore. I don't outsource my inner peace. I create my inner peace. I create the feeling of inner peace. It's a feeling, not a thought. It's a feeling. So that's why we do all of this experimenting to get it just right. And then I always like to ask the question, is there something I could do to make it a little better? What if I could make it a little better? Here's an idea. Take it or leave it, of course. Some of my ideas are terrible ideas, but it's an idea. So here's an idea. What if you grabbed something and put it over your belly while we did heart support? Whoa. We might take this to the new level. Let's bring in some of that protection and see how that changes our connection. Does it make it feel more safe for my heart to open up to me when my stomach is protected. I see many of you had already grabbed the pillow. Sue had already gotten the pillow. Cindy, yep, already did that. Julie's going to add orienting to widen your window. And Jill, you're noticing how much more safe this feels now. Isn't that really neat? Again, whatever we do, there's always a response in our body. And so we do something and we look for the response, because whenever we do anything, whenever there is a change, our body has a response. When someone walks into the room where you are at, your body has a response to them. It either opens up to them or it contracts. Every change that we have in our environment, our body has a response. This is going to make you more aware of those responses. And some of you are going to have some deep inner reflection when you notice that you are contracting around certain people that you didn't notice before. Yeah, but we're not here to talk about that today. We are going to just stay focused on our heart. And what are we noticing now? Have we created a sense of connection with our heart? Have we created a sense of connection with our heart? And once you have even a little bit of connection, you don't need a lot, just a little bit. That's all you need. That's all we need. It doesn't need to be this big, intense thing. Sometimes it's the quiet moments. And all we need is a little bit of connection. And whether you have that connection or you don't have that connection, let's now do this next step of the exercise, which is, if your heart could say something to you right now, what would your heart want to say? And Suri is noticing, I'm not connecting with my heart. So maybe for you, Suri, the message from your heart would say, it still doesn't feel safe to connect with you. Some of you are noticing sadness, that your heart says it's very tired. Your heart says that it doesn't trust you, that it wants you to leave it alone, that it's scared. For some of you, your heart is saying other things. Thank you. Thank you for seeing me. Hello. It's nice to meet you. And whatever message it's giving you, or again, if it's giving you silence, that is also a message. What message would we like to give our heart? What message would we like to give our heart? Not our brain, not that logical cognitive part that might want to say like, come on, can't you do better? Can't you be, why are you so emotional all the time? Not that part. That's a different part. What about our true self? What would we want? What message would we want our heart to have from us? A message of acceptance, even though you don't trust me, even though you're going through a hard time, even though this is a hard chapter of our life. It's nice to be here with you right now. Even though there may be regrets on how you've ignored it, on how you've abandoned it, on how you've overridden it, not listening to your heart? What if right now we could just say, it's good to be here with you right now. It's good to be here right now. In fact, I encourage you to say that out loud. It's good to be here with you right now. And that way we're not stuck in the past. We're not promising anything for the future. We're just right here, right now. It's good to be here with you right now. And as much as is possible, let's stay right there. If we can allow whatever is coming up to just be here with us. We don't need to make a story about it. We don't need to analyze it. And what do you notice happening in your heart when you say that? Yeah. Raina, you've had some interesting experiences so far with your heart. Would you be brave enough to unmute and share with the group what happened with your heart when you told it that it was good to be here with it?
Excuse me. Hi.
Hi.
Um, I was sort of seeing my heart as like a separate entity with a smile. And then when I said, it's good to be with you right now, I don't know, in my mind's eye, it felt like a oneness, and it looked like a oneness, and it felt like a merge or something. So I had to put into words, but it's like, oh, we are one. We are one. You know.
I love that that was your experience.
Yeah, I was surprised actually. I
Mhm.
didn't know that was going to happen. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, we often don't know what's going to happen. This is true. Which is why it can be scary sometimes, because I don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
I don't know if my heart's going to talk to me today, or I don't know if my heart is going to scream at me today because it's so angry at me. We don't know. We don't know. And so this is part of the courage that we need to have to do this kind of connection with our heart. Yeah. So even I notice your hands right now, Raina, your hands are merged.
Yes. Yes. And earlier today when I did the exercise, I did it like this, but I just naturally during this Zoom started to do this instead. This just felt better.
I love that. And I love that you could just go there. It just felt better. I don't need to understand why. I can just do that because it feels better. And if it's okay with you, let's just be there for a moment. And as you're noticing your hands, they are one, they're holding each other, and they're over your heart. What does it mean to you, Raina, to be one with yourself?
Being aligned on the same path, like in agreement, not like battling.
There's been some battles inside before, haven't there?
Oh, yeah. Yes. So when you were talking about the dual mind and in one of the videos, I was like, oh, that was happening today, you know. Like I want this, but I want that. Part of me says this, a part of me says that. Yeah. Hmm.
Hmm. And right now that has gone away, and there's just
Mm.
this oneness.
Yeah, I was feeling a little grumpy earlier and that lifted, which again I didn't know, I didn't expect. Just kind of happened. I was like, wow.
Hmm. Yeah. Is right. And so that part that fights, what might it be trying to protect you from?
Hmm. Failure,
Oh,
rejection.
oh, that's a big one.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
sure other things, but those
We're sure
two.
that there's more. Yes. So as you think of rejection, what happens in your heart?
Feels like it's broken, like it looks like a
Yeah.
puzzle piece instead.
Yeah. Yeah. So here's what I would invite you to do right now. Find where it feels broken. If it feels broken here, then let's bring that together. If it feels broken over here, let's repair that. Let's bring some connection. Like, let's actually create that feeling, Raina, of I'm repairing the brokenness.
Hmm.
I'm repairing the broken pieces. I notice you've got two hands over in front. So I'm just going to follow your lead and trust that you will sense, like, where does it feel broken, that I can put connection right there, right where it feels broken.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Ooh, I think the hand
I love your
clasp.
hmms.
Yeah. I think the hand clasp somehow brought
Yeah.
it together again. Huh.
Yeah. Huh. And how do you know that? I know it's hard to use words for feelings, but that's what I'm going to ask you to do. How do you know? What did you feel that when you clasped your hands, you felt like those pieces came together again?
It feels like a smoothness
Yeah.
in
Oh, I
my
like
chest,
that. Yes.
and I can
Smoothness.
it's a visual thing that happens as well.
Yeah.
Huh.
Huh. Huh. Yeah. Huh is right. And so while we're going to give Raina just a few seconds to kind of be there with her heart in this, what I want to emphasize is happening here is that Raina is creating a feeling for herself of connection, of repair, repairing broken pieces. She's not waiting for someone else to come in and glue those pieces together for her. She's being the glue. She's coming in to create this smoothness out of what felt broken a second ago. Even Anne is commenting that you found it helpful to feel where it felt broken and putting your connection there. Like, actually, right? Our heart is a big organ. And so there are specific places where it feels like, oh, that's where the ache is. Let me connect right there where the ache is. not over here where it doesn't feel as achy. I want to go right where the pain is and just me be the medicine. I am the medicine. I am the medicine for my own broken pieces. And I get my deep breath with that too. Yeah. So what are you noticing now, Raina?
Stability, like
Oh, I like that. That's interesting.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
still solid. It's still there.
Yeah. A sense of stability, which is very different than feeling broken. When we feel broken, we feel unstable. And now you've created for yourself, Raina, a feeling of stability. Wow. Love that. Thank you, Raina. Appreciate you trusting me with your nervous system.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate everything you're doing.
I'm going to have you be the prize winner for a copy of my book today.
Oh, yay.
Yay.
Thank you.
You are welcome. Thank you. Thank you. And so look for a message from my team in the Zoom chat for them to grab your email address so that we can get your information from you.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah. So what have we learned? We've learned lots of things. One thing will be that we don't wait for other people. And whether that's a friend, a partner, a provider, a therapist, there are all kinds of people that we wait for and expect them to glue our broken pieces together, for them to create that sense of stability for us. And look at what Raina just did. It's not that she didn't have pain in her heart, she did. But rather than ignoring it, she leaned in, actually created a feeling of, I've got you, I'm here with you. And then what followed was this unity again, this oneness, and a sense of stability. There is so much that we can do for ourselves. Now we are wrapping up this 5-day reset. So you've now learned 5 exercises. Today's exercise was like the supreme advanced work. Not only did we do a somatic exercise, we did dialogue. We looked at some parts. I asked Raina that part of her that fights, because she talked about that inner fighting. So that's why I asked her, what is it protecting you from? And she was able to identify it helps protect me from rejection. And that's why we went right there. Rejection. Where does that show up in your heart? Oh, now it feels like my heart is broken. Well, let's mend those broken pieces. And we did relatively quickly. Isn't that interesting? And it's also interesting that we didn't need to talk about a story about, well, when were you rejected? When did your heart get broken? We just went into repair. We didn't need the stories to do the repair. I know that some of you here are still working on that concept of, I don't need the story to do the repair right now in this moment. So as we wrap up the 5-day reset, I know that we've covered a lot. So here's what I want to make sure that you know, that you can have ongoing access beyond this 5-day reset for $7. And so the $7 includes access to the bonus sections, to the deepening content, to everything that has been part of this 5-day reset, so that if you missed any of that, you can give yourself peace of mind. I like to tell myself frequently that I now give myself this gift of peace of mind, no stress. And for $7, that's no stress. I can have peace of mind that I have everything that I need. I can come back and rewatch all of these videos, not just the daily videos, but these daily live Zooms where I've been working with people. My team, if we can please drop the link for that $7 checkout page so that they can get that. There you go. Now, what also comes with that $7 is a bonus workshop that I'm doing tomorrow, 8 a.m. Pacific. And what I'm going to be doing in tomorrow's bonus workshop is taking these 5 exercises that I've taught you and showing you how to use them to make a daily somatic practice. What is a daily somatic practice? Well, that's what I'm going to tell you tomorrow. And I'm going to tell you why it's important to have a daily somatic practice. And it's allowing you to maintain what you've learned here and not lose it. Even if you've been able to shift your nervous system a little bit, let's keep that momentum. Let's not lose that. We want to maintain the growth and the shifts that we have had. And this is how we do it. We create a daily somatic practice moving forward. And I'm going to help you do that in tomorrow's breakthrough session. If you're not able to attend live, no worries, no stress. I will record it and it will go into your platform so that you can have it along with all the other ongoing access that you have to the reset. So the free access to the reset will close tonight at 9 p.m. Pacific. If you want ongoing access and you would want to either attend live or get the replay for that breakthrough session tomorrow on how to create your daily somatic practice, it's $7. And I will ask my team to still put in that link again into the chat so you can have the link to that offer. So tomorrow, our breakthrough session is at 8 a.m. Pacific. We've been meeting here at 12 p.m. Pacific. That will be at 8 p.m. Pacific, 8 a.m. Pacific. And again, if you're not able to attend live, no worries, no worries. Patrice is saying, I paid, but how do I access it? You will get to just continue your same access. So rather than being cut off with the free access, your same access will continue. The same links, your same password. We've made it easy for you. And I'm being asked if I can send a link out in the emails. You got it. If that is something I can do to help you, I can do that to help you. Bonnie's asking what time tomorrow for EST. That would be 11 a.m. EST, 8 a.m. Pacific time. I see a few other questions. So again, I'm going to stay a few minutes late and answer questions. Julie's asking, how long will tomorrow's session last? 1 hour. So for 1 hour, I will go through what is a daily somatic practice and how to use these 5 exercises that I've already taught you, how to use them to create your daily somatic practice, what obstacles you might encounter, what to do if you encounter those obstacles, how your daily somatic practice might change over time, how to know when you're ready for that change. That's what I will go over tomorrow so that you are fully equipped with knowing how to take this and continue it to maintain the growth that you've had. Because things will shift. Yeah, so I'm getting that question. Will things continue to shift with my body? The idea is yes, because what you've experienced here is just 5 days. So for 5 days, we've been practicing connecting with this thing called our body that's below our neck. It's this thing that we haven't really been paying attention to. We've been connecting, but when you think of how long you have been disconnected, 5 days is not enough to keep those lines of communication open. And so if we were to do nothing moving forward, you would go back to your default way of living. It would only be a matter of days. We know this from experience. And so what we need to do is we need to find a way to continue this connection so that we not only keep those lines of communication open, but they start to be developed over time. And it becomes easier to connect. And then it's not as hard. It doesn't take as much energy. It doesn't take as much time. Those yawns or deep breaths start to come sooner. Your body actually starts talking to you. For those of you who've said, like, I'm still not hearing anything from my body. I'm still not feeling anything. Of course you're not. This has been decades that your very survival has depended on you cutting things off from the neck down. I'm not allowed to feel. I'm not allowed to have needs. My body just needs to take directions and do what I tell it to do. And the day that it doesn't, I get frustrated, I get mad, and I think that my body has betrayed me. So if that's how we've been living for decades, of course it may not be ready to talk to us yet. That's normal. That's perfectly normal. And this is how we build that connection and build those lines of communication, is through a daily somatic practice. Now, I'm also getting a question here around that you had heard about coaching with me and being able to work with me for the year. What does that mean? Sure, let me tell you what that means. I have opened up a program where not only do you go through my coursework, where you learn all the different aspects of the nervous system, so your freeze response, grief, attachment, stress, letting go, neuroplasticity, all of that knowledge and skills, but I coach you through the year, as I also then look at your labs. I look at other markers that we can look at for what is the actual state of your nervous system, and how do we provide the right tools at the right time, at the right pace, to get you the change that you want over the course of a year. And we track those things over time so that I can see this is going well, your body is shifting in this way, this pattern of people pleasing is changing, but we're still stuck here with the perfectionism. And look at your labs, you have some autoimmunity that's developing, or you've got a toxin load that's only a matter of time until your body cannot hold that burden any longer. Or maybe, hey, we've identified some nutrient deficiencies, and when we bring those back into balance, at the cellular level, you're going to have so much more energy and resource that your resilience is going to be so much greater. These are the kinds of things that I can do with you in this kind of a program, where I can look at all of that and it not just be part of the coursework. And so with that, this year-long program is starting with the foundational journey. That's where we learn more of these types of somatic exercises, 21 of them. And then we learn 21 of these different ways to identify the different parts of us. And then we dive into the deeper content of attachment and stress and grief and freeze. And this is what's starting then March. So Monday, March 3, I believe, is that Monday, that first Monday in March is where we would start. If you're wanting to enroll in that year-long program now, I have things to get started with you now. So it's not like you wouldn't have anything to do, but at the same time, you may want to get ready for this. You may want to clear some things in your life so that you have more space for dedicating 3 to 4 hours a week just for yourself, in a combination of attending classes and doing guided sessions, doing some journaling and some self-reflection. We're going to get you plugged into the coaching and the group, the small group, so you have your community and your trusted tribe that you travel with for the year. This is where most people are getting the most amount of change, is in this kind of container, since it includes the coursework and the community and the coaching by me and my team. So if you are interested in that, actually what I have is, I have a short video that, team, if I can ask you to share that video, this is what is, it shows what many people experience as they go through this, the insights that they have about themselves, the I want to say like the spontaneous moments of opening up their eyes to something about themselves that they'd never seen before, and then what they're able to do with that. So team, if we can play that short video, I think that will help answer this question about what is this year-long program that they had learned about.
But I was sort of born already traumatized. So this good baby wasn't a good baby. She was struggling.
My whole life I've been told I'm too sensitive. I have too big of emotions.
I had chronic illness and I was like done for a really long time. And I was thinking to myself, I think I'm in the habit of being tired.
I was so full of fear, anxiety, why I would be depressed.
And I kept thinking, what am I missing? What am I missing?
Deep down inside, there was a lot of fear.
I just feel like it's been one big therapy for me. Different modules and the things I'm learning, it's amazing, and it makes me a better person, better student. I'm so much better prepared to deal with clients now, and incorporating somatic work. They don't teach us in school that. So, and my sessions are so different because I start them all with somatic work and I end up with somatic work, and I'm always getting more information. It opens up the clients in a different way, and it opens up me.
What I like about your courses is not only do you explain things to us, but you don't send us into the wilderness with knowledge. You give us the tools.
So one thing that was I'm very grateful for, was very validating, that I was doing many of the things, and this added to more of those pieces of the puzzle so that I could actually go from where I was to where I've been wanting to be.
Like, I have the courage to actually confront those people in those conversations, whereas I wouldn't have been able to do that before. So
The return of my vitality and my life force, and a sacred opportunity to live life again and make new choices.
You just kind of put words to this experience that I was having that I didn't understand. And I'm so grateful for it, especially the tools.
I'm safe enough and strong enough to allow old suppressed trauma and grief to surface, because it's surfacing for healing, only because I'm safe enough. And I'm so grateful. And I've already seen things come together and been able to reach out and share with other people.
Actually love my body and to have compassion for it.
Not being afraid of the freeze anymore. I used to try and push it away for as long as I could, but now when I feel that exhaustion starting to come on, I'll just go take a nap, lay down for maybe a half hour, feel the exhaustion, and then come back up slowly, and then I feel better. And it's not scary anymore. And I think that that will help not just me, but that will help me to guide my clients through it and not be so afraid of it.
I understood the relationship part and the work, but not my emotions being taken by the body to be actually a toxic substance if they go against my true self. And that really caught me by surprise. And that triggered, for the next 6 weeks, this amazing inner transformation.
And this is one of the first programs I've ever been in where I could use techniques and tools from the first class, like right from VU, right from orienting, right from where is my nervous system. And so teaching that over and over and over has helped me really cement that in my own learning.
my heart is just like gonna explode. It's so warm.
It has been very healing.
So it's been an amazing journey of transformation for me personally. This whole
All right, so I'm noticing just a lot of comments and questions in the chat. I love this. I love that this is opening up something for you that you haven't necessarily really considered before is that we can actually do so much for our body and biology. And what we do in the year 1 programs, well, in all of my courses, what we're doing is we're doing mind level and body level and biology level. We do all 3. So mind level, Mark, you saw Mark in the video. He's actually a pastor who's been working over in Ukraine, doing incredible work with what he's learned here. And he was talking about how he learned that his own thoughts and emotions can be toxic. So what is our self-talk? How are we treating ourselves? How are we talking to ourselves? What are the stories that we go to in our minds? Because we do need to work on that. But that will never be enough. And so what we've been focused on here is the body level. We've been focused on the body level. We did a little of the mind stuff today with Raina and asking her about the different parts of herself. But more of the focus has been on the body. How do you connect with your heart? How do you create that feeling of safety? How do you create that feeling of stability? Not just have a thought about it, but create the feeling. And part of what we need to do is uncouple the implicit memories that our body has formed. And so that's what the somatic work is for. Meaning, what does uncouple mean? Uncouple means that if you had been in a car accident and you are driving down that same section of road, but on a different day, in your mind, you know that it's a different day and that you're safe. But what does your body start to do? Your body starts to have a response. Your heart starts racing, your hands start sweating, you start gripping the steering wheel, and your mind is like, this is stupid. You probably even say something like, you are so stupid, if you're anything like my mind. And yet that doesn't stop the body from having a response, because in the body, seeing that section of the road has been coupled with danger. And so this is what happens in our body. Every time you see that person, every time that you smell that smell, every time that you eat that food, every time that you have that dream, whatever it is, your body has it coupled with, but when we had it before, this is what happened. And that was dangerous. So this must be dangerous right now. So we've got to uncouple those associations in our body. And that's the body piece that we work with on this somatic level. But then there's the biology. The biology. And I don't care how much mindset work you do. If you have a magnesium deficiency, your body will still be telling you, hey, that sounds great, but we don't have the energy to do that. We're going to still stay stuck right here in our trauma patterns because it's what has become easy. And so when we neglect the biology, we still hold ourselves back. And that's why what I do in my programs and my courses is I integrate all of that, because it all needs to be done. And when we can do it all together, we actually can create and accelerate the healing journey with the integration of the pieces. So I noticed that someone had left a comment of like, I don't think she actually teaches. Yes, I do. You bet I do. I am teaching in my courses. I am doing the coaching. Absolutely. And this is what is very meaningful for me, is to be able to guide you in a way that I would have wanted someone to be able to guide me. And I didn't have that. And that's why it took me a really long time to figure out all these pieces. And I spent a ton of money and I lost a lot of my life in the process because I was lost. I don't want that to happen for you. Though, for many of you, you've also lost a lot of time in your life by looking around, trying a lot of different things, doing your best, but just not having all of the pieces or the right tools at the right time in the right way. And those things matter. We can't just throw spaghetti at the wall and be giving our body what it needs. The body needs very specific things to heal. It's what I learned when I came out of my surgery residency. So I did 4 years of surgery residency. And I don't know how many here have been through a surgery or helped with a surgery, but when you undergo a surgery, you are on the edge of life and death. You're going under anesthesia. We are taking you to the edge of life and death, making your body powerless to respond to someone like me cutting you open, doing things to your body that you would never allow me to do if you were awake. And yet, that's exactly what your body needed in order to have that cancer taken out, in order to have that infection cleaned out, or in order to let me fix that broken bone of yours. Whatever it was, I needed to get in there. But to do that, we had to be very careful, very precise, because we can do it in the wrong way. And then coming out of surgery, there's a right way to do recovery, and there's a not helpful way to do recovery. I'm sure either you've experienced that or you've seen someone who've experienced that. The infection never really heals well. That bone never really sets well. And that scar never really healed the right way. Why? Because we didn't give the body what it needed. We didn't give the body what it needed. The body does heal when we give it the conditions that it needs. We haven't given it the conditions because we haven't known. We're not taught this stuff. And so being able to now see these are all the pieces that you need, and there is a sequence and there is a framework, and I've got to create the conditions for your body to say, oh, now we can heal these decades of stress and trauma that we've been through. Yes. And because it's decades, it needs to be done slowly. I want you to think of it like a swimming pool. If it's only been 1 year, the water is very shallow. But for your pool, the water is very deep. Based on your smiles, I think you know what I'm talking about. The water is very deep in your swimming pool. So, one way is to say, well, I need to heal this trauma, so let's jump in, and we jump into the deep end. And what happens? I'll tell you what happened to me. I drown. What if I taught you how to swim first? That's what we do in the coursework and in the coaching and in the community. I teach you how to swim. And then we can start healing those wounds in the deep end of the pool and not drown in the deep end of the pool. So there's a sequence. There's a framework. It doesn't need to be confusing. I'm not saying that it's easy. I'm saying that it doesn't need to be confusing. And so I've put together the integration of these different pieces that we need. This is what the human body needs. This is what I lay out in my book. So for those of you who have not yet had a chance to get my book, I encourage you to get my book, read my book, because you will see this is what I lay out in my book, the sequence, the framework. And I'm going to drop the link because Amazon is having a sale right now. So if you were going to buy my book, now's the time to buy my book. It's on sale. They don't tell me why. They just put my book on sale. I never know when the sale is going to end. So I don't know how long it's going to last, but it's 20% off right now. The lowest price that Amazon sells my book. So grab a copy of my book, grab an extra copy for a friend. Now's the time to do that. And it walks you through the framework, the sequence that I guide you through, if that is what you would want. Now, coming back to the idea that we take this in steps, we take this in baby steps. I'm not asking you to commit to a whole year right now. You don't know enough about me. I mean, we've had some, we've been on a few dates, right? We've had 5 days of dating each other. I hope you're not ready to get engaged to me after only 5 dates. If so, well, then we've got some other work to do for your trauma patterns. But the idea is that you know that this is possible. You know that it exists. And now you put me to the test. You see, can I really trust her? I'm doing a bonus workshop tomorrow. Come to the workshop or watch the replay. Spend more time with me. See if this makes sense for you, that this would be something that you would want. For those in the courses and my coaching program, I am now opening my home to do in-person 2-day workshops with me. So that would be another added element to troubleshooting your nervous system and finding those obstacles and those blocks and seeing what does your body need. And so there's lots of resources here. There's lots of support, and you get to decide what feels right for you. And know that if at any point, when it is time to make a decision about the 1-year program with me, you can also decide just to do the first step, which is just the foundational journey with me. And that's 6 weeks. We do more of what we've been through in these 5 days. We do the 21 days, so 21 exercises over 21 days, different exercises every day. And we do it for every day because that's what our body needs. I'm not going to lead you through something that is different than what your body needs. So we do it every day, a little bit every day for 21 days. And then we do the parts work. So these dialogues that we practiced today with the heart and Raina, we do those dialogues in the second part of those 6 weeks. So we do the 21 days of somatic work, 21 days then of parts work. And that can be another way for you to just get your feet wet. Put your foot in the swimming pool. See how the temperature feels to you. See how it is to work with me. And then you can decide if you want to do more with me. Some of you will be ready for, no, I know that I want the year program. I know that I want the whole thing. And I know that I want you to help me put all the pieces together. I'm tired of project managing my life, my health, and my trauma patterns. I want you to project manage it. Like, I got it. I gotcha. And some of it will be, no, I'm not quite ready for that. Let me just do the first step. So Jill is asking a great question. Is the foundational journey included in the 1-year program? Yes, it is included in the 1-year program. So what that means is that for those who will be coming into the 1-year program, you still start with the foundational journey. And for those who decide that they want that 1 year ahead of time, like you're coming in now into that 1-year program, making that commitment, what I say is I will include the price of the foundational journey for you for free. So you're then just paying for the 1-year program, and I'm including the cost of the foundational journey for you. And that cost is $944. So that would be a reason that if you're thinking, I think I kind of do want this 1-year program, that would be a reason to make that decision as you come into the foundational journey now, because the price is included. So the 1-year program starts with the foundational journey. Everyone starts with the foundational journey. That is the place to start. We cannot do the deeper work safely. We cannot swim into the deep part of the swimming pool until you've learned how to swim. And you learn how to swim in the foundational journey. So everyone starts there. And you can either start there as part of already making a commitment to work with me for a year, or you can start there as I'm still not sure about this. I'm still not sure about you. Let me still test you and see if I can trust you to safely guide my nervous system. I'm fine with that. I want you to test me. I know that I'm trustworthy. So I want you to put me to the test. And people are asking, is this labs included? So labs are not included in the cost of the year-long program. What is included is the review of the labs. And what I do is I look at your labs in the context of what else do I know about your nervous system? Because I'm having you fill out a nervous system journal. I'm having you fill out an assessment form for what are your trauma patterns showing up at the moment? How are we doing with perfectionism? How are we doing with people pleasing? How are we doing with pushing through exhaustion rather than allowing ourselves the rest? And then I'm able to look at those patterns, correlate them with your labs, and that is not what you're going to be able to get anywhere else. And that's the exciting thing that allows me to give you a whole person review and guidance, because I can see a larger picture than what I experienced, where I had to go to this provider for labs, but this provider for my chiropractic care, this therapist for this part, but this other person for this piece, but none of them are talking to each other. None of them have the big picture. And that is what I want to be able to give those of you who want that. And that is the year-long program. For those who decide just to do my courses, but not part of the coaching, I can't do that. You are more than welcome to take my courses. And they are wonderful courses. They are, I think, some of the best in the world. And they are an important piece. And that's why if you're going to do the year-long program, you still do the coursework. You're also in community and you're doing that coaching. Yeah, these are really, really good questions. I love that you are leaning into this. Yeah, Annie is saying, I've tried a few mind-body approaches to healing. Yeah, and they all seem to neglect some aspect, either mind, body, or biology. After listening to my podcast, reading my book, okay, you're halfway through, Annie, and doing this 5-day reset. Yeah, you're feeling ready to get engaged. So that is my encouragement. And that's what I've seen many people need to do. Like Annie, you need to also have these other touch points to feel like you can trust me. You need to listen to my podcast. You need to watch my YouTube video. You need to read the book. And then with enough of those touch points, then like Annie, you're like, okay, now I'm finally ready. Trust is a big thing. And we've had a lot of our trust broken. So I want you to find these different ways to be engaged, stay engaged, so that I can be building your trust. And the 21-day journey, yeah, that I am now adding on those in-person workshops, again, for those who are in my courses, so that they can have that additional support if they like. I see a question around, is the 21-day program called the Foundational Journey? Yes, and. So the Foundational Journey is 6 weeks long, and it has 21 days of the somatic work. So that's what we call the 21-day journey. And then we have 21 days of the parts work, or these dialogues that, like what we did with Raina today. And so those parts in that dialogue build on the somatic work, because we can't have those until we know how to connect with places like our heart. So that's why that comes first. So the 21-day journey is part of the foundational journey. It's that first part. Yeah, good question. When any of you do become eligible to come to my home for an in-person workshop, at the moment, I am holding those out of San Diego. which just happens to be one of the nicest places to visit, especially this time of year. So something else for you to look forward to. Probably shouldn't tell you that yesterday it reached up to 79 degrees. Yeah, I probably shouldn't tell you that. Okay, so I won't tell you that it got to 79 degrees yesterday and that today will be 78 degrees. That just might be cruel and unusual torture for those, for the rest of you who are in places very cold. I went out to North Dakota this last weekend to do an in-person training for a therapy group. Had a wonderful time. What an amazing group they are. Really enjoyed training those therapists, but boy, was it cold. I don't know how you all do it. How do you live in such cold places? I will hold space for you here in San Diego. And one day it will be your turn to come to my home for an in-person workshop. Julie is asking about my book tour. Yes, I am getting ready to hit the road again. When am I leaving for Tampa? I leave for Tampa on Tuesday. And then I speak at a conference here in San Diego again on Friday. And then I will be in Dallas the following Monday, flying to Dallas. So I have a book signing and book gathering in Dallas Tuesday, January 27th. And then I'm going to Austin. So that book signing is January 29, Thursday, January 29. And then I'm going to Miami to speak at a health event led by the president of Zumba. You all know Zumba, the dance fitness class. He is going to make me do a Zumba class with him on camera, broadcasted to all the islands, and then he's going to interview me on a panel. I hope I don't embarrass him or myself with my lack of Zumba skills, but that's what he's insisting. He's insisting that I do Zumba before our interview. So that will be Miami. And then I head to Seattle, where I am speaking at a large health event in Seattle and am going to be fitting in a book signing in Seattle. So that's what's coming up. I'll be doing more later on, but that's what's coming up now. So any of you in those areas, Dallas, Austin, Seattle, anybody here in those areas? No, not so much. All right. Well, I'll keep you posted on where I'm going in the world. Karen is asking what our average cost of labs you want ordered. It's a great question. And I give you the option, so you get to decide which labs you would want to order. I also highly encourage you to track your biometrics with something like an Oura Ring. And I have a platform that collects all of that information, plus the labs, plus the assessment, so that I have the whole person view of you. And so the tracking becomes really important. The actual measuring of your physiology becomes really important. So for labs, it would be ideal, not necessary, but ideal if you would invest somewhere between $600 and $900 for labs. And we have been able to figure out a way to do that in Europe, in Canada. I don't know where we're at with Australia, but we're working on it. So we have been able to figure out how to also facilitate those labs in other places. Yeah. All right. So with that, again, let's just go over next steps. Next steps are, if you want ongoing access to this, $7. And it gets you ongoing access to all of the content in this reset, all of it, just all of it. You get all of it. And you also get the breakthrough session that I'm doing tomorrow, 8 a.m. Pacific, where I'm specifically teaching you how to take these 5 exercises and use them to create your daily somatic practice. What is that? And how would you manage the changes that should happen with that over time as you change over time? If you can't attend that live, no worries. I will have the replay in your access for your reset on your platform so that you can log in and have access to that. All of that is for $7. You will want to purchase that today because the 5-day reset ends today. And so everyone is losing the free access tonight at 9 p.m. Pacific. So ongoing access, get that taken care of today. $7 gets you everything. After Saturday's breakthrough session, then we can talk about, what do you want? What feels like next best steps for you? I will share all of the resources with you that you need, whether that's, hey, I want to listen to podcasts, I want to watch YouTube videos, I want to attend your next masterclass, or no, I'm ready to commit. I know that I want this. I'm ready to commit. Let's do this. And I will get you started with some coursework now while we wait for your foundational journey to start Monday, March 2nd. And thank you for those who pointed out that Monday is March 2nd. And that's it. Those are next steps. Those are next steps. Get the ongoing access, get any additional resources, come to the workshop tomorrow, and then start to figure out what feels like the next best step for you. A whole year, really getting to the root of this, really getting some change and transformation. For those of you who are clinicians or practitioners, entering that as a 1-year certificate training to become a biology trauma professional. Or if it feels better to just start with the foundational journey and just put a toe into the water, and then you can decide if you want more after that. There's no right or wrong. There's just, at this point in your life, given all that you've done, given what you want, what feels like the next best step for you. And either way, I'm here for you. And I'm very happy to share with you what I've learned about the sequence and the framework and guide you to the degree that you want to be guided. I am here for you. With that, we will go into our closing song, and we are going to again play a song that I have written. It's one that you've heard one of the previous days. It is the theme song for that foundational journey that everyone starts with. So we can go into our closing song now, and I hope to see many of you tomorrow at our breakthrough session.
I've been holding my breath for so long, holding the tension, holding the fear of a story that says I must stay small, must stay protected in my walls. Could I ever be free to be me? Could I ever open back up to life? Exhale into being, exhale into flow. My body's wisdom guides me to come alive. Exhale into being, I'm gently opening to the safety inside. I'm not alone. My body's learning to believe that it's okay to breathe, it's okay to receive. Exhale into being, one breath at a time. My body's remembering how to feel. Safety first, I'm learning to feel the ground beneath me, what's so real. My shoulders drop and my jaw release, and my whole system finally easing into a calm I've never known, into a quiet, sacred home. Exhale into support. I'm held and I'm strong. My capacity's growing. here I belong. Support is rising up inside. I'm learning to feel safe, not run and hide. To move through the waves with support. To know that my feelings can be here. Not pushing parts away, but inviting them in. I'm becoming more whole, calm and alive. I'm pacing myself like the ocean tide. Not rushing forward, not hiding back inside. I'm building a life that's spacious and wide. I'm learning expansion. I'm learning to glide through moments of joy and pain. I'm learning I can dance in the rain. Exhaustion lifting, pain softening. I'm connecting my nervous system, finally resting with the 3 steps home and needed all along. Safety, support and expansion song. Exhale into being. I'm becoming the real me. My own safety inside. I'm not alone. My nervous system's learning to believe that it's okay to breathe. It's okay to receive. Exhale into being, one breath at a time. My body's remembering how to open to exhale into being, exhale and let go. Exhale into being, let your body know. Exhale into being, it's safe to be here. Exhale into being, it's safe, it's near. The life that is waiting and inside all along. It's time for healing and I'm singing my song.
With that, lots of love. Hope to see many of you tomorrow. I'll continue to look through all the questions that were dropped in the Zoom chat so that I can answer those thoroughly. And